Welcome to the semifinals here in the 11th MGM Berlin. I'm Toffel and I'm here with Johnny.
Hey there.
And we're watching the second match of this tournament. We're seeing a nice, like a classic, you could say.
Wow, yeah. I mean, I'm not sure when was the last time those two decks faced each other in Highlander, like Gruul versus Mono Green Ramp. There's a lot to talk about those two decks. First of all, they didn't exist for the last 5 years or so. Like I never saw a Mono Green Ramp deck besides Hendrik. He played it, I think, in the last, or maybe, I don't know, 2 years ago tournament. And Gruul as well, like we didn't see it for that long. And now we have two Gruul lists in the top 8, so that's something.
Which is a surprise.
It's really a surprise. But yeah, I really like players choosing something different than the usual 4-color mid-range value decks.
And it also shows how much potential there is.
Yeah, everything is possible. Everything is possible in Highlander. Like that should be really clear. And
so, explain to us, what is the goal of the green ramp deck?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you can say it's like Tron in or Tron in like modern, but I think it is. Like you try to play really expensive, really overpowered cards really fast.
But your worm spells are much worse.
Your worm spells are much worse. You're not that consistent in doing that. But a lot of those things he's trying to cast end the games, or at least make a stop to most strategies which people try to achieve. Like for instance, if you play against aggro control and you resolve this ridiculous, I don't know, Ulamog or whatever he plays. He has so many. I can look at the deck list right now.
But isn't that not faster than Scapeshift?
Well, are you asking me if the deck is worse than Scapeshift, or are you asking me if it's faster?
No, I ask you what the advantage of a mono green list is.
Yeah, that's a good question. To be honest, I don't think there's a reason to play mono green over Scapeshift. It depends. If you're talking winning percentages, I don't think there's a reason to play Mono Green Ramp over Scapeshift. Maybe there's a world where you expect a lot of Mono Red decks and like other aggro decks, and then I think it's a good choice. But I think that's player preference. Just saying, I played the deck so often, I know how to play it, I know it has a decent chance against most decks. Maybe I'm pretty weak against combo decks, but I still like my chances. So I don't think there's a reason above something else. Like I'm pretty sure I'm winning the tournament with this deck because it's so good positioned. I don't think that's the reason.
He might. Nobody knows.
He might. Yeah.
And he's gotten so far. So there's
exactly, and it's really an accomplishment with this deck. If you look at the format, right? No. I don't mind that. I don't mean that as an insult. I played the first round against him, and I was the only person who beat him, but only because I had really, really good draws with my control deck. Really good draws.
Yes.
And you would think that this kind of deck, like combo ramp deck, is bad against control, but he's actually, because of all the planeswalkers he's playing, has a really good matchup, because once he's at the 6-7 mana, it's really, really tough for a control deck to manage his threats. And which is also nice, which I really like, is he has a nice land plan, you can say, in his deck. Like he has something like, what is it? The Tespian stage combo, yes. Yeah. He has a lot of land destruction, the Tectonic Edge and Field of Wounds.
Of course, Eye of Ugin probably.
He doesn't play that. I told him he should play that, but he didn't, and put it in his deck.
Seems weird if you just look for all the lands.
Yeah. He plays something like Horizon Canopy and the Crucible guy. What's his name? You know what I mean?
Ramunap Excavator.
Excavator, exactly, yeah. So he has some sweet interactions, and Scavenger Grounds, for instance, exciting all cards. But maybe let's talk about the Gruul deck, because it's kind of different to Cedric's version.
Although we see here the same start Cedric had.
Yeah, that's true. But it's not a weird thing, because since the deck didn't really exist before, people had a lot of thinking to do, right? So what cards to put in, because you don't have any resources, you don't have other people who play this deck on a regular basis, and like exchange informations about it. So it's really nice to see what comes up if people have to build their decks alone at home and test it against their field, their meta. So I really like the outcome of the decks. And we can see in this Ghoul deck, for instance, he plays cards like Arling Court, this Planeswalker, I think no one plays in the format. We see a Nissa Vital Force in his deck.
Yeah, we see it's already a bit more to the heavier side of mana spells.
Yeah, but also like Cedric's list can have really explosive starts. And yeah, and we talked about it in the first round. We have a lot of those creatures which give you the mid-range value plan as well, like the Earthshaker Kendra or the Death God Scavenger, and he has cards like the Jade Blade Ranger, like cards which have something else to do besides just beating you down.
Yes.
So,
we see a nice pickup here from Hendrik, a Grim Monolith that makes a lot of mana.
He's playing Channel too, so there's always the explosive start which you have to fear.
So there could be technically the Bellower coming down. The Monolith makes 3 mana. Crop Rotation probably gets something that can make 2 mana.
Yeah, he plays all the 2 mana lands, like even Crystal Veins.
And the Grim Monolith is just 6 mana anyway, so
yeah,
he just now has to decide whether he wants to maybe crop rotate for something else or use the Court of Courting. You probably have to go for something big, but 6/5 is already big enough for the first part. So
yeah, especially against a Ghoul deck.
Yeah, you can get something like a Cursor that makes life.
Yeah,
if you need that. Nice. Kitchen Things is very good.
Usually his when we're in the mid game with his deck, usually he goes for the Fierce Empart and gets Emrakul, the Promised End, which is probably most of the time his winning line, because this card is just unreal. Is that the Excavator?
Decides the Excavator is good, and that must be in combination with the Crop Rotation.
Crop Rotation, yeah, because his opponent is screwed on 2 lands, right? So we just get the Wasteland, have the 6/5 for blocking duty, and then that's game.
That's also very telling. I mean, you sit there in Nicholas' spot and say, like, your opponent's getting an Excavator, and you're like, you only have forests.
Yeah.
Like, what is your plan? And you should be afraid that there's something behind it. And he could have killed the Excavator, but that didn't happen. So I guess that will be...
I'm not sure would you do that at this time?
I mean, there has to be a reason. How can you not do it? You cannot.
Yeah, that's true. But like he can't do anything else. He can play the 2/1 after that, and he will lose his mana anyway, right?
He uses 1, but now your whole mana is gone. Like you only will have the elf.
Yeah, true. But we have your Nissa, which can block the Bellower. No, that's not the name. What's the 6/5 name?
Yeah, Bellower.
Bellower? Yeah, you can block that indefinitely. So.
Well, there's still the Excavator. That can also. But you still have.
But you have a 3/3. Yeah, you have still a 3/3. So I don't hate this line of play. But now he loses both.
But that also means right now, like if there's not an immediate red source, this Wasteland will come back again.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So this has future implications that are devastating. I mean, while Hendrik can just develop the board again and again, because
he gets all the time.
Mana, this will be tough. Although it's just a board. Like the Nissa ultimate is pretty strong.
What does it do again?
It lets you draw X cards and you get X life to the amount of lands you control.
Yeah, well played.
So I guess token it is.
Yeah, I guess. Surprisingly, this is like a story about the Nissa, because you never see this card, right? No one plays it. And even though it doesn't look like it, this can do a lot of damage in this kind of deck. Like you start with the Mana Elf, then you play 2 more dudes turns 2, and then you play turn 3 the Nissa and just push your whole team. That's so much damage. It's really really impressive, this card, I must say.
It's also one of the planeswalkers that wins alone. Like, of course, if you have like Jace and if you have a Chandra that kind of wins alone, but Nissa doesn't need any other creature. She's just there, and you can do whatever you want. the tokens will with the counters just take over the game, and it's a different form of taking over, but it's she protects herself. She doesn't really care what anything else happens, and worst case, you just go for the ultimate and draw a lot of cards.
Yeah. And also, I have to give Henrik some credit because I see some cards which you also never see in the format. For instance, Hall of Gemstone. That's a green enchantment for 3 mana, which forces the player in this upkeep to choose a color. And your land, or
Pink.
mana-producing lands, can only produce that kind of color then.
Oh, so that's really good against multicolor decks.
Yeah. So as a mono green deck, usually you won't expect this kind of land height. And that's really nice.
So you cannot cast anything that's two colored from your lands.
Well, in the upkeep you can. You can respond
Besides just a trigger, yes.
Yeah, exactly. But you also can play counter spells in your opponent turn, right? Because your opponent says green, and then your lands don't produce any blue mana.
Ah, it counts for every land.
Yeah, every upkeep and every land. Yeah.
That's strong, yes.
Did you just untap the Grim Was that right?
For 4 mana, apparently.
Okay, then it's alright, I guess. So let's talk about the board state, because suddenly...
It doesn't look that bad, right?
Yeah, it doesn't look that bad. I mean,
we now still know that Henrik is doing stuff.
Yeah, of course. He can now attack the Nissa with the treetop village if he wants to. What are the Court of Calling options? He has 5, 6, 7.
So you can court for 5.
Yeah. So what do we have for 5 mana?
Probably Titania.
Yeah. Oh yeah, with Wasteland already in the yard.
And there might be.
I like Titania.
There might be like Oracle options, Witness just for 3. I don't know if he plays Zorak. That might be a thing.
No, he doesn't. Oh, he plays the green, the god.
Ah, Nylea, yes.
Yeah, that's not bad.
But that needs a lot of mana, and green permanence. There's also the option just.
Oh, I meant the other thing. Ronas, the Indomitable.
Oh yes, that's
a good card.
Yeah, that makes games fast. There's also the option to play the tutor and draw step, but I guess we're already over this point.
Yeah.
So
I don't hate a Titania, by the way, at this point, because you could get back Wasteland and then just waste your own treetop village, and then you have 15 power already just with 1 card. But
that's strong.
Yeah, and you have the Bedouin as on top of it.
And that also comes as a surprise.
It comes as a surprise, yeah. And I mean, if
your opponent right now is like, "Oh, you're not doing anything." think, go. It's either the worst bluff in the history.
Yeah, and we see. I'm looking through the list of Niklas right now, and he plays a lot of cards you never see in the format, which I really love. Like we have Rickshaw and Resilient, Kenra, like all those weirdo cards which you never see. Kalonian Tusker.
So just bear creatures.
Yeah, creatures which you never see.
So we see the card for 5, yes. And I guess we will be on point.
Do we know what the Prowling Serpent?
Isn't Titania just the top card he picked up? Yes. Yes. There we go. Yeah. Didn't even need to search. Getting back Wasteland.
Oh, he's doing the... Oh, nice. Yeah. He's now... I hope yeah. Does he destroy his own...
I mean, there's no way Niklas comes back from that.
He just eats the board.
You
don't even have to block
At which point are we? Can the Nissa still make a token? Is that a...
I'm not sure. I don't know.
I guess we're end of turn. No, I think we're blocking. Okay.
Yeah, for sure. He should have 2 tokens, right? Yeah.
Well, depends.
Oh, he just concedes.
Okay,
yeah, well,
they just...
Yeah, makes sense.
So this was a very good line to see, and there were other options, but Henrik rightfully concluded that this was ending the game right away, and it's 1-0 for him.